Hi, my name is Jessica Macchioni, and the working title for my topic is Changing the Stories We Read and Tell About Race. That's a really accurate title. I might come up with something that'll catch your as time goes on. What I'm really talking about is the way that the stories that we read and watch through all kinds of media and then tell ourselves and tell other people matter in relation to race and racism. So I'll start kind of broadly. Storytelling itself is the thing that separated us from other species as a human species, but also the thing that has bound us together over time. So we didn't end up being kind of factioned off into a lot of different species because we have these mythologies that bind us. So an ape, for example, can tell a lie, like there's a tiger coming if he wants the bananas to himself and scare the other apes away. But human beings have these elaborate storytelling abilities that make us able to collaborate with millions of people on a daily basis. And also, another thing that's really important about storytelling for the human species is that there's a relationship between empathy and how much we engage with, especially fiction, with stories, with reading. So basically there's a direct correlation between how much you read and your capacity for empathy as a human being. So there's also this other sort of long-standing tradition of especially dominant narratives that are divisive, that separate human beings. And this happens a lot of the time along race. For example, protagonists who are white have their whiteness sort of illuminated and even defined over and against black and brown characters. Often the white characters are dynamic, they're complex, they're engaging, you're meant to identify with them as an audience member, and black and brown characters are almost like props or plot points and often demonized. And the whiteness really gets defined in contrast to blackness and brownness. So this really misses that potential for empathy and sort of corrupts this role of storytelling in human species to bind us together. So we'll look at a couple of examples of that from literature, film, and popular culture, and then we'll move into some counterexamples. And that's where all the hope is for me in this talk. So there are numerous examples in literature, film, and popular culture of works, especially by diverse writers and filmmakers, that feature diverse protagonists who are humanized against the dehumanization that's happening in a lot of the dominant narratives. And through being engaged by those stories where this humanization is happening, it can really help us get past racial divides and combat racism. This is incredibly effective and important. It's not only important for us to tap into our potential for empathy as human beings, but we need to become better readers of all narratives. We're kind of bombarded by stories and narratives every day, from dominant culture, from popular culture, from all angles, and these counter-narratives that feature these dynamic, humanized black and brown characters can help us become better readers of all stories, and then we'll be better tellers of stories too, and better role models for the people that look up to us.